Oh, let me see here. I better put this on. Well, I don't know if you can hear me or not. You should be able to see me. So give me a one on there if you hear me. Okay, thank you. Now I see here it says, I feel, Lucinda says, I feel you have the best case. Why are you waiting for more games to be played by others to sue the shit out of Germany, germ? The I'm kind of setting back a little bit. Iowa's passed some new laws that have to do with the elderly. Uh, I can't see too much, but the way they're going right now out there, I'm just biding my time. I'm not going to get into this tit for tat game that they've got going, and I can't say a whole lot about things right now. We'll see how things go. I'm kind of hoping that things go down to a moderate level. Anyway, I've had it pretty good for the last few months as far as going on vacation and relaxing and coming back and just kind of letting everything mellow out. It's not that I'm not or that I've changed my mind on anything. I haven't. I'm just watching to see how everything else is going right now. Stepping right back into the fire is no problem, right? Let's go through here. G Sky, hello, Lucinda, Monica, two Lees. Glad to see you on here. Or Lisa, I hope it's Lisa. Okie, Ed, Warrior. All right. I know some of you probably have some questions. It's been kind of relaxing getting back and not doing a whole lot of worrying about things. I haven't watched a lot of those channels. I do go on to watch Lisa. So that kind of I keep updated by going on there. I have talked to Leslie not too long ago. Bearded, I see you're on there. Let's see. Peace from the Northeast. Okay, Bearded. I did watch you on Rich's show about a week ago, Bearded. So I do go out there and watch the channels. It's not that I'm completely out of everything. It's I haven't done a whole lot myself, and my channel is not used in a manner that I care for. I don't like it when somebody comes on here and then uses it to go after other people. It's kind of a pain. Yeah, Lisa's not playing any games either. She's laid her cards out and pretty much let you know what's going on and what she's going to do. And hers will actually, if you want to call it a game, the only thing you could call it is the first domino that's on the board. And as soon as it tips down, it's going to take a lot of dominoes with it. And it opens the door to a lot of things. So keep a close eye on her channel. Help her out, that she's going to be starting a GoFund out there, a way of raising money for the lawyer for legal things that have to go on. Matter of fact, there's a lot of things that you can donate to for right now for her. She's decided, I think, to let her car go until she can get the legal things off and going. So Barry says, don't worry about us. That's our job, all right? Well, remember my comments in comment sections is what got me in the lawsuit in the first place, probably. My channel, a combination of everything. And we know he was full of crap, right? All he did is make it rough on one of the roughest times in my life. I've never faced a time like I did when my wife was in the hospital and had this court thing going on. And if it wasn't for some of the backers out there, I would have never made it through that part. Yeah, I'm glad to see you on here, Lisa. I came on live because I figured maybe some people had some questions, and I try to be honest with it as I can. The things that right now are, my life changed completely a year ago in July the 4th when my wife broke her pelvis. And from that moment on, for the next 2 months, fully 2 months, I was doing other things that I had to take a step back, and it almost felt like everything got away from me. I'm back on my feet, by the way, and I'm doing fine. There's been some hiccups health-wise here and there, not by anybody else's that pushed me into something. It's just sometimes I don't pay attention to what I'm doing, and it gets me in a hard spot. I dehydrated not too long ago. I ended up in the hospital, and there was some causes for it, and they're trying to fix it. And so right now I've got a Pepsi here. I have 1 or 2 Pepsis every day and a couple glasses of water and a glass of juice and 2 glasses of milk. And it seems to be keeping me hydrated, and I'm getting the vitamins I need, and electrolytes and all that stuff. And the doctor's going to look at me in a few more days, and I'm going to go in and have some work done in the 3rd of August. So a lot of little things coming up. Oh, I have got Snapple in my refrigerator, Lisa. And what I do is a lot of times in the evening when I'm extra thirsty, I grab one, and it only takes me about 5 minutes and I've got it down. Between my daughter getting me hooked on Pepsi and you getting me hooked on Snapple, the two of you have got me going pretty good. By the way, make sure Gabe has my number, would you, Lisa? And I don't know if Linda Life has got a hold of you or not, but if you could give her my telephone, she's going to be coming up this way pretty soon, and she's going to be just not that far from my house. So, as you know, I haven't really put my numbers like that out there on this thing. So, okay, you got to reset his phone. Okay. Yeah, I had trouble with my phone. It started down there in Florida when T-Mobile took over from U.S. Cellular. And all this time that I've had trouble, which was most of the time down there, and ever since I got back up to a little over a week ago, what it really needed was new SIM cards. So I had to get one for my wife and one for mine. They did it free of charge. And meanwhile, because I was having trouble even paying the bill, they charged me for a late payment. They're real forgiving. And my son had the same problem, and they gave him 3 months free telephone use. Don't figure. Noreen, I see you're on here. Who else has come on since I got on here? Oh, the only thing I've suffered the most on was losing my partner, Lucinda. There's a lot of people went through a lot more than what I did. The people out there that were after my family and myself and my kids, uh, they're extremely hateful. They claim they're not, but they are. A lot of it was done by the minions, and what do you say there, John? By the way, John and Michelle, had to go through another visit from Child Protective and Sheriff's Department out there. It hadn't been that long ago, and I was hoping that a lot of that would be over with. And the heck it is, the claims that they make puts their daughter through the scrutiny of adults. And those kind of things are going to follow her the rest of her life. She's always going to wonder, is this normal or not? A child is taught about being careful around other people or adults, especially when they, like what she's going to have to go through. They're going to be checking her, and I don't know if they have yet, but for bruises and things like that. And it gets kind of intimate. And they're taught not to let an adult do those things. And then they have to tell a child that in this instance, it's okay. And children, they're logical, they're smart. So when you tell them that it's not okay, and then you tell them it's okay, they know that the two don't mix, that the negative, the two of them are. Because you're going to ask, why is it okay for this one, but not that one? And I don't know what kind of an answer you can give them because of the logic, the way a child's mind, they're so innocent in their thought. They look at it, at what you're asking them to do, and they're opposite of each other. So, and I'm not sure how John and Michelle are handling that aspect of it or not, or how they are doing it. If these people were honest with themselves out there that are pulling all this stuff, that are making it so hard on families, they would see through what they're being told out there and how many lies are out there. To me, it don't make sense. I've never noticed that Noreen about the leaves turning for a storm to catch the water. I'm going to turn this a little bit so I can turn more. My camera is over right there. So when I look up there, and my computer's here, that's what I'm looking at right now. So I can look in the chat. Now, what I want to do is try to keep up with you guys, because I brought this up today so I could answer some of the questions you might have. Yeah, Lucinda, it's kind of hard. When we step up to the plate, we become the scrutiny of actually probably well over 1 million people out there. And some of them, they're not all there upstairs. I've discussed some of the stuff with my family about what's going on out there. For me, I've lost a couple of people that I thought an awful lot of. I've known these, at least 2 of them, maybe 3, all my life. And the things that they said to me had surprised me. And it wasn't that they were scared of Jeremy or any of those people around him. It's they assumed that their exact words were that I was being scammed. And if they'd have looked at everything, they'd have realized that was the furthest thing from the truth. But that's a word that's used a lot out there to kind of cover all. Scammed over what? From what? You know. But what got me out of this whole mess, I've only lost, very few people that were close to me. But I've gained a huge number of people that didn't know me, that have never seen me, that became friends on the internet here. So the trade-off, if you would ask the question, was it okay? And in real terms, it was. I can't tell you how much I appreciate Lisa and Gabe. And, I met a woman out there named Kim. I think she lives in Spanish Springs out there in the villages, who has a big heart, a huge heart. And Jeannie, she has a big heart, and I hope that she's doing great. I don't hear her on the Lisa's channel right now, so I guess Lisa would know where she's home or not, but I would think she is by now. But I don't know. But I do know that I kind of miss her in the background. When I was down there, everything was moving, boom, 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 and I got to see the inner personalities of the different people out there. What you see when in person that you don't see on here. You can't necessarily ever see the smile up close, or the how the eyes match the smile. Do they go together? If I ever get back there again, and my daughter's already saying something, boy, it'd be nice to go back down. And before I didn't think I'd probably go back down again, but I right now, the way I feel, I would love to go back down there. And we just have to see how it goes. If I get an opportunity, I would like to see some of my friends from there up here, Lisa and Gabe, and whether Leslie and Michael wanted to take a run up here, or the people that are going to be in the area. We can certainly make room. I have an awful big house here, and it's just me. I don't have a housekeeper, but I do have a daughter that comes over every few weeks and goes through my house and gets it back to where I can handle it again. In the last couple of weeks, I've had neighbors drop off meals. I really have good neighbors, and it would be hard for me to ever think about moving somewhere else, because it's, this place, I've been here over 23 years now, and it really fits. It fits like a pair of gloves that have been, leather gloves that are formed to fit your hand. Let's see. Says my grandma said that, and also when the cows lay down. Oh yeah, which direction the animals are actually looking. You can tell from which way a storm is coming. Let's see. Yeah, Monica, I agree with you. All that stuff over there, it's money is the option, is what they're after. Hate and stuff is secondary, and people like drama, and it brings stuff like that brings in a lot of drama. People would tune in every time they're up just to see what else they're going to do. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That person that you're talking about that had said something about covering some of the fees. I mean, that particular guy, he's kind of retired, and he may say a lot of things and either forget it later, or it's more for just to see how much control that he can gain over people by making a promise. That same one I think that you're talking about had promised a car to somebody. He doesn't say necessarily like a promise, but he puts out little tidbits out there as how a person can get something. And it's still amounted to control. And he was trying to control 3 different people with that when he was talking about this car. And that controversy still goes on to this day. And it's been almost a year ago or somewhere near a year ago that was put out there. It was made to humiliate a person and to see just how much, where it would go with just by throwing something like that out there. And the same person would go on there and make donations and then start shaming other people for not making the same type of donation, saying he was the only one doing it. Why can't anybody else do it? And what a lot of people, if you think about it, I don't think we have any, what I would call multimillionaires on here in our chats. Most people are average and they don't have a whole lot to give. And so when you got somebody that's retired that is a multi-millionaire and he asks questions like that, it's more to embarrass you. That's all it's for. He's controlling your emotions. And the best thing you can do is just not even pay attention to it. And if you happen to be there and catch a little bit of the windfall, more power to you. You get to have it. But I wouldn't say anything about saying that you think you're going to get it and plan on it. Because the more you plan on it, the less chance you have of getting it. I can promise you that part. And I heard the way he talked on the phone when he was talking to Super Dave that 3 different phone calls, a couple minutes apart, and he didn't want any part of trying to tell Dave the real truth or what he was talking about that day. So I figured his number out real quick, and all Dave was asking for was the truth, and it made me feel that much better about Dave because at least he wasn't afraid to ask, "What is the truth?" Right? And that was David asking David. Oh, Tammy B, how you doing? A little bit. If you get enough of jellyfish on you, the pain can cause you to not making it back into the shore. So that's what happens with jellyfish. If they can, there's some out there that can really do a number on you. What was I thinking? I see you on there. Says, I heard that if you get run over by a car, the first thing you should do is call an ambulance. Can you put that fact on 57, yes or no? Not sure exactly the point. Get run over by a car, you might not be able to call an ambulance. I wouldn't call an ambulance chaser. We all know that there's some ambulance chasers out there. Sue, I see you on there. Says, hi, how are you doing today? Are you talking about me or one of the other in the chat here? For myself, I feel good today. That's why I put this back in here to see if you guys had some questions and try to answer them as I look through the questions. But yeah, I'm feeling okay. What was I thinking? Most of the time, I do feel pretty good. It's just a different lifestyle, and I haven't. It doesn't match what I had, and so I don't know what's next. Let's see. It says, so good to see you. That was from Pam. Glad you're okay. Thanks for asking. Barry says, I got a question for you. When are you going to start singing again, start singing something like heavy metal music or some hip hop. The biggest problem I have with it, you guys, if you look way back in my channel, you'll see it. There's quite a few songs back there yet. They are kind of dead in the water. What happened was they went from 100% okays, thumbs up, and I know you guys can't see the thumbs down, but I can see them when I go back in there to check them. When you get enough thumbs down, they don't get sent out by YouTube anymore, and they die. Nobody gets a chance to see them. And I can go back in there and see them, but the only way I can is I have to throw one of my videos up there, and then I look into the on the right side of my screen, and it'll bring up several of them. Now, just to let you know, every song that I put up there gets sponsored by somebody that has the rights to the song. It might be their club or whatever it is. And you'll see along with it, they'll put it with a dozen other songs, a lot of times that are of the same gender. And they're the ones that make money on it. Well, right now, because of the dislikes, they don't go on the YouTube much, very seldom. And you'll see that there's less and less songs on YouTube because there's so many people jumping on the bandwagon claiming that they have the right to it. There's a lot of people that have different rights to different songs for different reasons. And sometimes when they get a sponsorship, okay, they pay for that sponsorship. They'll go out and claim everything they can. And there's pretty large companies that do the same thing. So within about 45 seconds of you getting that song up there and you start releasing it, it gets picked up right away by the bots. And the bots go out there and tell these people. And then you can't put it up. So the last one that I was able to get on there is in my post-it. And I was allowed to, I think it's like a minute or a minute and a half. So you only get partial song up there. But that was the last one I posted. And it was what do the children say? Or listen to what the children say, something on that end. Oh, let's see. Yeah, everybody that's asking, I do feel pretty good today. And I am hydrated. And the doctors are taking care of some things they have to take care of. Over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be doing different testing. Nothing earth-shattering or life-threatening. That's not what's wrong with me. Okay, I just got to get my body working like it's supposed to. Okay, John, I understand. Those tortoises have to eat too, don't they? John, I hope everything's getting better for you and Michelle. I did watch Michelle on the live on Lisa's, and I think it's probably one of the best I've seen Michelle out there. Okay, she made good sense, and when she's not pressured, I noticed that when Lisa would ask a question, she gave her plenty of time to think about an answer and didn't interrupt her, let her get through it. And then they would discuss anything that was needed to make sure that the point was got across. So what it did show is that Michelle can do very well when she's not battered back and forth with stupid questions and able to give them a chance to answer them. Okay. So when you get back there, John, I don't know if Michelle came in here or not, but she certainly did better than what I've heard her in over 2 years when she was out there whether it was in writing or in person. I think she did a fine job in person. And I think she'll do fine in the future. And I think if she was doing her own lives, if she's very careful, uh, I think she'll do fine on those too. I think she'll be able to raise money and do a lot of things. From what I've seen on Lisa's, she certainly was able to control herself. And that's something that I didn't know if she was going to be able to do, but she certainly proved she can. So my hat's off to her. And I've been praying all along. I know she asked to be able to do her own thing, and I'm certainly thinking that she's doing a lot better by doing her own thing because she's standing on her own feet, and she's doing just fine. What was I thinking? Is I enjoy your songs. Well, the people that put their thumbs down on it brought them to a halt. And what happened was the sponsors out there on the songs aren't able to use them either. Like I say, everything I put on here on the 5th or 6th day, it dies. It just completely comes to a halt. If I could show you the facts on here, maybe I don't know if I can get a screenshot. Maybe I'll throw that up. I'll have to work on it and show you on the specs what happens to the things I put out there. The other thing is that these people out there, they copy everything that's out there of mine. And they have a lot more people that are looking at it. So they're picking up the rewards from it. They're making money on it. I've never cared in the past. The reason being, I didn't monetize it. If I ever had it monetized, I'd go after him for sure. Barbershop Quartet. Well, believe it or not, on way back quite a while, I've done my own quartets on here, and they do fine. And I've done it with other people. I've done it with as many as like 8 before on there. I did join a lot of different contests around the world. I probably took first, second, or third in these contests over several hundred times. But my voice has changed a lot in the last few years. Some of it's due to RSV when I caught it a couple of years ago. It sounds like I need some original songs. Yeah. I could do that. Even with some stuff that YouTube's got out there, I could probably post them. I would still have to fight those that try to attach it. What happens is the people will get out there and try to attach it, and the bots say, "Yeah, you're right," and so they'll give it to them. And there's no fighting unless I get up there and fight for it. Helen says hi, I'm busy but listening. Okay, Helen, that's perfectly fine. If you have some questions, throw them up here. Shara says, I was tested for the new illness going through the U.S. I don't know what that illness is. Does this have to do with the past COVID stuff that we had, or is it something new beyond that? Oh, I'll have to go up and look at it, Bearded. I'll go back and look at it, okay? And then I'll let you know. I have to look and see what you put up there. I don't do a whole lot with AI because I'm not skilled, and I guess it would be something to look forward to. Hi there, Marla. Thank you, Marla. It's good I'm glad you're in the channel here. Bearded, if you find it, just tell me where to to look for it. I'm sure I can find it. I'll get on there and look at it. If I do, I'll certainly send you a message back. You've got my email on there, so. Motions gave us a AI lesson on their channel. I'll have to go over and look. Let's see. A big reason I haven't looked at these other guys out there, and it's not that I haven't looked at their, like what they've got going on the very, what they put up there for notifications. It's just that usually after a couple of minutes, I'm just not interested in it. I'm looking at other things that are more entertaining. Yeah. Phyllis, this next week, it's going to be mostly in the 90s and no rain. So it's going to be dry out there and rain. When I went down to Florida, I didn't have anybody taking care of the plants I had out there. And most of them had died over the winter time. I didn't bring anything in other than a couple plants that were in there already. So consequently, I thought, boy, everything would be gone when I come back. Well, there was some petunias from a hanging basket from a year ago. For some reason, I think the seeds took off again. So there was a special plant my wife liked. It's got purple flowers on it. They're called snowbird or something like that. They have little white specks on them. Anyway, I've got it hanging in my porch. And it shows up when I'm sitting in my easy chair. When I'm sitting in my living room, it shows, I can look through the kitchen window. We have a big, kind of like a big opening between the dining room and living room and kitchen. And the plant shows up dead center in that thing from my easy chair. So I get to see that all the time. I bought my wife a mother-in-law's tongue plant quite a few years ago, maybe 14, 15 years ago. It was when she'd been looking for it. I found it and she had to nurture it back. It was in bad shape. It just happened to be the last one the shop had. It made it through the dry spot through the summer while I was down in Florida. I come back, it was still alive. Nobody watered it. And I've been taking care of it since, and it's got new growth going on it. It's doing fine. And a vine, I thought it would be completely dried up. It's still going. So I'm ready to bring them all back in. They've gotten enough sunshine, and I've been watering them, and the whole works. All I got to do now is add a little bit of fertilizer to them, because they pretty much use the soil. I haven't put any fertilizer in it for over a year. So at least I got something to remind me of my wife. Taryn, did you say Taryn? Is that how am I saying it right? But I thank you for saying that you love me there. Mara says, have you listened to the Clay Strays? Lead singer's voice is one of a kind. I haven't listened to them, but I'll have to look and see what they are. I don't buy that stuff at that store right now, Noreen. My favorite ham for sandwiches right now is one that comes from a company called Frick, F-R-C-K, I think it is. And for the past 7, 8 years, maybe 9 years, I've been buying that, and it's already sealed. And I bought the hams and I bought the slices, both. And so I'm back to buying that, and they're fine. And it didn't stop me from buying ham. but I don't buy it there at the Walmart anymore. Matter of fact, I'm not buying any of their cold meats, and I had been buying it there for quite a few years, almost 20 from that one. Getting sick on the same one twice, that's my fault. First time should have been enough. Let's see. I am keeping cool, everybody out there. What we got? It says he's got to hire somebody to manage your YouTube. I imagine you're probably getting some of the weather that I get, Phyllis. Yeah, it says over 90. Yeah, and that's what, right now, if I walk out there on my porch, it's pretty close to 90. And this morning it was only 64, 65. This afternoon it's going to be about 94, I think, probably around 3 o'clock. And it's 2:10, so it might already be there. Yeah, Phyllis says, with special plans, she is watching over you. When I seen that those petunias had come back, I never expected any of those hanging plants to come back, any of them. But when that one come back, it was special for her, it happened not too long before her accident. We had went to the next town to buy those plants. We bought, I don't know, maybe 4, 5 hanging plants. And then some other, now the plants that were planted in the ground, they're doing fine. Okay. I haven't had to do much with them. They came back and they're flourishing. So the one should be blossoming anytime. It's got the little buds on it, more like a bush flower type. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, I want you guys to listen to this. Lori says, Ray, did you know alligators can grow up to 15 feet? And she's only seen gators with 4 feet. That's good. That's the first time I heard that, Lori. Anybody else got some good ones out there? By the way, last week I got to get my neighbors invited me down to they have a lake house that they bought recently, and I got to go down and spend a couple of days down there with them. So I do get some invites to have fun, different places, and I certainly enjoyed some days down there. It's about an hour away from here, so it isn't too bad to drive down there. They actually, I rode with them when they went down there. Yeah, Tammy. Yeah, when I did it twice, fool me once, but shame on me for the second time around. At first I thought it was the meat, and then I thought, well, it could have been the condiments. So I threw all the condiments away. The meat's kind of expensive. I took about 4 bites of the meat, and then I realized that was a mistake. And the heck it is. It put me in the hospital the second go around. I had lost all my everything that was inside of me, and then all my liquids were gone, and that's what dehydrated me. And so they pumped stuff into my arm, and I was full of antibiotics. I had because I started bleeding inside. They were afraid that I might get some infections, and then it caused other testing, and I had to drive to another town and go to another doctor. And now I got to go back to that other doctor in another town, and now I got to go to one in the next town, and they're out to get a piece of me. Miss Lori said, I'm not worried about the heat anymore. Only time now that folks tell me I look hot, I take that as a compliment. Well, you know what? It might be, Miss Lori. At 61, you're over 10 years younger than me. So, I mean, you're over 20 years younger than I am. You're my kids' age. Uh, yeah. But when meat gets that bad and you handle it, you got to be very careful having it on your hands. You want to wear those rubber gloves or something when you handle it. Plus, you can get salmonella. And there's another one out there you can get, even though it's in your refrigerator. It's deadly. It'll kill you. So, Steffi says, "Hello, I didn't know you were on." Well, glad you made it on. I put a notice out there an hour before I went on to give everybody a chance to come on over if they wanted to. Like I say, I put this up there so you can ask questions, and I'm not on here to plead my case on anything. I actually, I'm a lot more relaxed than I have been in a long time. I really don't know how often I'm going to put anything up there or if I will or whatever. No promises. I'm just filling in time today. My daughter and son-in-law were up here over the weekend, and we had a pretty good time. So I kicked back and just enjoyed the companionship that you get from family being around. And like I say, one of my neighbors invited me to their lake house, so I spent a few days at their lake house last week. It's been a busy week, not anything special going on, just time for me and some of the things that are fun. Yeah, the best thing to do when you want to put something out there, get you a can of dog food and punch a bunch of holes in it and throw it out in the water, and take some canned corn and throw it out there, and plenty of fish will come around. You bait your fish hole. So Steffi says she's been getting ready for a big family shindig for her mom. She is now in long-term hospice, and the kids wanted something nice for her. Wow. I hope everything goes okay for you, Steffi, for you and your mother. It can be some trying times. When my wife was in the hospital in such bad shape, I'd say the last 2 months of her life, she spent talking over all kinds of things. And we had bad days and good days. And we had memories from way back. We're talking maybe 50, 60, 70 years of memories that we went over. I was thankful for the time I could spend with her before she passed. And one of my daughters spent most of the time up here too. During the time when my wife was sick, I'd lost over 50 pounds, and I didn't realize it. But since my daughter was here quite a bit, that meant she wasn't where her husband was, because he had to work, and he actually lost around 60 pounds. It caused a big disruption out there, and I'm so happy they were able to spend more time here. And I'm really happy that when I went down to Florida, my son-in-law was able to fly down during his vacation and spend some time in Florida itself with us, and then he helped us drive back. So, and then my daughter went back home with her husband. It's tough on families when you have this big a disruption in your family. Barry says he was living out on the river for a year and a half and set them up. No, but Lori, it doesn't matter if you come in a little late. It's just coming in at all for a few minutes is plenty. I'm glad to see you on here. And I wish I had plenty of subjects that I could throw up here for you guys. That's why I said bring your questions and we'll talk through them. And as I notice a few jokes out there, and Bearded, he's always got some good stories to tell. You talk about a guy that's been through it all. He has. Wow. Yeah. When hospice, my dad, he had spent, I think, just a little over the 6 months. That's what they normally say for a hospice. But he spent a year and a half, pretty rough shape. And by the time he got down to hospice, it was a rude awakening for everybody in the family to realize how little time is left sometimes, and it's never enough time to that. And when a person passes, and you think about it, you would give up anything for 10 more minutes. My wife's been gone for over 10 months now. It's been a year since she fell. And I can't tell you what it would be worth to me for 10 minutes with her. You have an attitude of your gratitude. That's pretty good, Bearded. Two Lees, Ray. Gabe says hello. You tell him hello too. Tell him I look forward to talking to him. And so is my daughter, by the way. And my son-in-law. My son-in-law had an awful good time up there with, that's my phone somewhere here. Ah, there it is. It's Gabe. But thank you for calling me, Gabe. Now I got your number. I was getting worried I'd never get to hear from you again or something there. Oh, heck. Yeah, I love him. I love my daughter and son-in-law as well. That I could call them, and if there was an emergency come up, they would get in their car and start out right away. Yeah, Gabe, just to let you know, I'm looking forward to seeing you and Lisa up here in my house. Right behind me here, there's a room reserved for you two. Or you downstairs, this is a split foyer home. There's a TV room down there. I can convert into anything you want down there. It only takes me a half hour. So and it's an all-encompassing, and you'd have your own private bathroom and a huge TV, bigger than the one I've got in my living room, because it's my TV room down there. It's got leather chairs and a nice cream table to sit at, and carpeted windows. It's got everything a person wants to relax in, Gabe. So it's waiting for you and Lisa. So anytime you feel like coming, you jump in that truck and get up this way, or get in a plane. I don't care. And we'll figure out Jules up here too. This house it welcomes animals, and although I hate to refer to any of our pets as animals, they're our friends as much as a person is. So. What else we got on here? Yeah, well, on my phone, when I talk to it, when I say, you got to hear it. Siri answers, Watch this. Hey, Siri. Uh-huh. See, you hear that? Uh-huh. Thank you, Siri. Helen Highwater says she's good at renaming people. My phone wants to update. Oh, Phyllis, four-legged friends. Yep. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do without my pets. It's the only thing that keeps me sane. And people probably think I'm insane because I talk to them. But they can understand most words that I've got, especially if it pertains to food. My pup is right directly behind me right now. My cat's usually in here too, but she's probably sleeping out. I have like a bay window that sticks out, and that's her spot. And she'll get up in there, and that way she can watch out and see what's going on outside. She likes to bird watch, and then her special thing is going hunting for bugs. All I got to do is say, "See any bugs?" and she's out with hunting stuff. Barry says he's trying to finish cooking his dinner. These two dogs keep on bothering him. Yeah, you have to show us when you put them in the shower. See what they. What was that thing? It changed Siri to a South African male voice. Sounds better from him. Okay. Miss Lori says there's more storm warnings again. More tornadoes this year than the last 6. I had quite a few around me, but we've been pretty lucky this year. We haven't had any right here. I did have one go right over my house, and not this year. This goes back at least 15 years or more. Probably more like 17 years ago. It did a lot of damage around here. More to my neighbors than me. The tail was whipping back and forth like this. It actually wrapped this house in leaves, but it took out 2 trees, and they were more like they were corkscrewed. One of them hit the edge of my garage and took out part of my fence, and another one hit the tree next to it and laid across the fence. And it shook my house. You could visibly see it shaking the house when it went through. And then the next, right south of me, there's a storage building, and it took half of it and blew it for a whole block and scattered it. And there was a classic car in there. I don't know if it was a Dodge or Chrysler or what it was from the 60s. And it picked it up, carried it across the road, and put it down in the ditch. And it looked like it was okay from what I could see. It wasn't all banged up or anything. But I'm assuming it probably got hit with some debris because there was a lot of like 2x4s and 10 and all kinds of stuff in the air going on this thing. Phyllis said that she had about 10 trees taken out when a tornado went through where they're at. Miss Lori said, oh no, it was, yeah. Alexa kept reminding me that she's a household assistant and not equipped to answer theological questions. However, she said she got an upgrade and she can try now. Yeah, mine, I said, can you carry a conversation? She said that it didn't quite compute what, I've asked different questions different times just to see if I can stump her. But I understand there is an upgraded program. I just haven't done anything, past the normal stuff Siri does. So. So yours is upgraded then, Laura, your Alexa? So my Siri is just mainly for the phone. But I can use it like with a map and stuff to see where I'm at, where I'm going, and I usually thank Siri on here, but I don't get an answer back when I do that. I guess if I said, "Hi Siri, thank you," maybe she would. Or I know it's just a female voice, so. Yeah. Let me see what happens when I'm going to try it once here. Hey Siri, thank you. Hey Siri.
Huh?
Hey Siri, thank you. Now I got a text back says, hello there, how can I help? All right, I'll be here when you do. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm done, Siri. Phyllis says, I'm old fashioned, or she's old fashioned. Those Alexa and Siri's give her the creeps. We know the same program, or that runs that stuff, that generates it. What is amazing is they can do foreign languages, and you can put on there what you want to ask in German or some other language, and they'll put it out there for you. I wish I'd had something like that when I was stationed in Germany. That would have been cool. Lucinda said her son used to flirt with Siri, and it was so funny. My wife, she had a phone just like this one, and it was before her last phone. And every once in a while, that phone would swear. We couldn't figure out what the heck was going on, because my wife and I, we seldom say any swear words. It would take an awful lot. My wife didn't swear at all, as far as that goes. We never figured out where they learned all that stuff. They came up with some one-liners once in a while too. Now, when I got her the newer phone, the Apple 16 or 17, it didn't do that kind of stuff. But yeah, your phone does. You know why, John? There's a sharing app on there, and that's what spies on you. You can turn it off, but if you turn it off, then you can't use your map and all that stuff. So, I don't know if they'll ever. It's kind of a trade-off. Whether it doesn't matter what type of phone it is, that sharing app is that's the spy that's in your pocket all the time. Every time your phone is on, it's spying on you. And the heck of it is, it's not just that app. It's thousands of connections that go through your app. What was I thinking? I used to ask Siri if this outfit made my butt look big. He would tell me I looked just fine to him. I never thought to ask something like that. It makes it kind of scary if they're watching your anatomy. I guess you wouldn't want to put it on the countertop in the bathroom, would you? Yeah, Monica says, I hate AI, yet it's in everything, ushering in the mark of the beast, in my opinion. Yeah, I think the mark of the beast isn't very far away, and I think it'll be worldwide very quickly when it'll be nothing more than an ID, and I think somehow it will be like an implant under the skin, or it may be nothing more than we've always had a fingerprint identification out there, but they haven't had a way for that to communicate. But it might be communicatable. There'll be so many cameras out there that they'll be able to see your fingerprint as you walk through and it sticks on something. And then they'll be able to see where you're at, what you're doing, all that kind of stuff just by your fingerprints and locations. There's just a lot of different ways. Delicious one says, Ray's alive. I'm late seeing this. Hello, Ray. It's great to see you. It's good to see you too, Delicious. By the way, while I'm up here, again, I want to ask you to help Lisa out. She's going to be doing her legal stuff here very quickly. And once she gets her lawyer, I think she already has one that she's talking to, but once she gets that first ones that are going to get sued for copyright infringements, I think it'll blast through so quick you won't believe, and then you're going to see a lot more of them going off. It'll be like fireworks going off on the 4th of July, and you're going to see a lot of people on the run when it does happen. But she's got to have some help getting off on that first one, and I believe she had talked about something like $5,000 to get it started. Looks like Beardy just sent me something on my email, so I'll be able to look at it in a little bit, Beardy. Again, I want to get back to Lisa. Please do me a favor and help her out. I haven't seen what she's got set up yet, but she is going to need some help, financial help. And she's raised so much for everybody else. She's hoping that for her, she'll be able to get off and running here very quickly. And I believe she has everything in order and ready to go, as far as I know. Barry says it was the dogs showed you. I gave the dog a bath. Okay. Now the notice comes through on here. If I'm on, when you put something up there, Barry, you're on my, I'm sub to your channel and you're on my favorites. So it shows up on here when I'm doing something. If I'm on at the same time, let's put it that way. It says, coffee gift, get money to her quickly. What was I thinking? Put it up there. Okay, great. So get those coffee gifts going for Lisa. Let's help her out. I know I'm going to push whenever I'm on here. Not that I'm going to be on here a lot. I don't know how often I'll be on here. Maybe it'll be nothing more than question and answer times we can get on here and do some things like that. It's up to you guys. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, I'll certainly put it out there. It says Ray needs to get on coffee thing. with me, I know I've explained it before, but when I retired, I didn't want to have any other jobs. I was offered different times to like fill in for vacations and something for the company that I left or that I retired from, and I had turned it down. I didn't want to have to perform a job. When I retired, I really wanted to retire forever, until the good Lord calls me to go on here and make it where I say that I want to be here every Saturday or 2 or 3 times a week and turn it into a money thing. Puts pressure back on me to do it. It would be a job in my mind and a deadline or a schedule. And right now, if I needed it, I would certainly do it. It's just that I enjoy not having to do things. You spend your whole life having to get up in the morning and go to work, or having to go to work at midnight, or whatever it is, or having to travel halfway across the United States to go see a job. Or one of the jobs I had, I flew out every couple of weeks to job sites, and it could be in New York one day and down in Atlanta the next, and then over to Houston, and then out to California. And there were times where my wife had to come out to the airport when I lived in Houston and trade suitcases. I'd drop one off and grab another one at a different flight to go to a different state. And it gets old. And I think when it come time for me to retire, I held my breath that last few months because I really wanted to retire and just do nothing. The laziness set in. It says, we're going to be doing a car fundraiser for me, Richard. And he said he would help me do that. So we'll see what happens down right now from Morton. That coffee thing might help you get something started, Bearded. I know once you have one and can keep something coming so you can afford insurances and gas and maintenance, you'll be able to go anywhere you want, anytime you want. What was I thinking? It says, it's just a way for us to thank you, but I understand. Yeah, actually, I don't mind getting on here and stumping for somebody that needs something that, a little financial help. A lot of people, they have to have it. When I retired, the only reason I was able to retire is because my wife and I put a little bit away. And I'm not rich by any chance. All I do is I had enough money to try to live a middle class existence. I buy used cars when I need a car. They're not well used, lightly used. And everything I had was paid for ahead of time. Well, during my working years and before I retired, we remodeled the house, put new furnace and air conditioner. Everything was working perfectly in here. We just replaced it so we wouldn't have to do it during retirement. Siding. I'm on my second full siding job on this house now. Right now, since we've been here 23 years. I made sure I had a good lawnmower, and then here during COVID, I bought another one that was easier to use, and it's a Cub Cadet zero turn mower. It's got a 23 horse Kawasaki engine, I think is what it's got in it. It's in my garage underneath me right here, and then I've got a John Deere small yard tractor in the backyard out here. And I've got a fenced yard, but by having a tractor and a zero turn, I can leave one outside the fence and one inside the fence, because the one that's in the backyard, I've got 2 storage sheds out here in the back. And then downstairs, I've gotten rid of all my vehicles except for 2. So I have virtually, I have 4 stalls of garages here, 2 up there and 2 underneath the house. So the one is just for my lawnmower. and then up there, that's for my pickup truck. And then the two sheds out here, I just put the yard, John Deere yard mower out there. Oh, says Ren says, hi, Ren. I hope you're having a good day. It is a pretty good day today. I feel good. I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna fix me, start getting something ready for supper. By the way, Central Standard Time here, it's 2:44. So, Cussing Crafter, you're on here somewhere. I see. I don't know if I said hi to you when you got in here or not, but I just happened to see that somebody, the malicious one, was shouting out to you. There you are. I see you. When I get to rambling, then I forget to look down here and see who's in here. I don't do it on purpose. I just get carried away sometimes. Oh, 3:35 there. 3:35. Where are you at, Ren? PM. Yeah, I'm 2:45 PM Central Standard. My birthday's coming up in another week, and when it gets here, I'm going to have me some seafood. I'm going to fix a big meal. John, I see you're back in here. Yeah. Yeah, she needs to turn the clock up 10 minutes. I agree, John. Yeah, it's 3:46 or 2:46 here, Central Standard Time. Steffi said she had her birthday Monday. Lucinda's is Saturday. Ren says, happy birthday, Ray. Thank you. Cindy says, my 8-year anniversary to Angela's today. We've been together 21 years, married legally. Wow. Legally 6. Okay. My wife, if she was still alive, we would be married. It's over 63 years right now, 63 and a half. And we knew each other 2 years before we got married. And we gave her a friendship ring for a year. And then at the end of the year, I gave her an engagement ring. And a year later, we got married. And that was 63 and a half years ago that we got married. Ray told her, I see you on there. You just got the notification. I just noticed you coming on there. So welcome to the chat. Wow. Pam says she'll be celebrating 48 years this way. Right. Right. Wow. A couple of years will be the golden anniversary. Stuffy has 45 years with hers. Wow, wow, wow. And to all of you people that have been married this long, congratulations to you. I know in today's times, it's hard to get past the first few years. It seems like so many people get upset with each other that they can't wait to get out of the obligations that they set for themselves in their early years. And me, you know, I want my wife back. I can't imagine, uh, if somebody, really loves their partner, how it can ever come to an end. I guess um, I never looked at it that way. Years ago when I wasn't in a hurry to get married when I was young because I was having a lot of fun. But my wife, I don't know what happened. I just looked at her and it was love at first sight before I even talked a word. It's hard to explain it, but in all my life, if I watched her, walk, it didn't matter if she walked down the hall or out in the yard. If I'd look up and just happen to see her, my heart would pound sometimes. Just like I never got over that first look, and even to the last one. She was in my eyes. She was always gorgeous, and but there was more to it than that. People. I don't know if their personality shows up in their eyes or what it is, but she was just walking down the street and happened to look back, and I seen her, and I thought I could not believe it. And it was like, can't explain it. Well, there are a lot of you out there have a lot of years married. Man, my congratulations to all of you. I'm happy that you're happy with your partners. I guess it's amazing to see how many people out there made commitments when they were young and have kept them that many years. It says something for you. It says something for both of you. Says, speaking of rings, Ray, why do women like real diamonds over man-made ones? Because they like to dig up the past. That's amazing. A diamond, they're crystal clear, and yet they're compressed coal. At what point do they get clear? Yes, darn. I don't need this on while I'm talking. I don't know why I've got it on. I don't need that. I can't hear anything that's going on here anyway. Yeah, a little bit. We've been married 34 years in March. Congratulations. One of the greatest things my wife and I were able to accomplish was getting into retirement years and enjoying the benefit of going into second childhood. Because when you no longer have the stress that you had when you were bringing up a family, worried about how you're going to get your next meal or keep the house that's over your head or worrying about your job, if it's going to last. When you get into retirement and you can do as you wish pretty much when you want to, I guess the biggest stress is probably worrying about the next doctor's appointment if you have a regular date on it, having your annual physicals. But man, what a relief it is to get into retirement. Dusty says I'm about a month away from being single, 43 years. You've been single for 43 years, Dusty? Is that what? Yeah, Helen, my wife and I were awfully young when we met each other. I mean, really young. We were in high school. And it's not the realization of commitment. It's hard to explain. All of a sudden, you find somebody you want to spend your life with, and along the way, you learn how to tolerate each other as part of it. And sharing, I guess, is part of it too, because it's not just you anymore. It's the two of you. And then when and if children come along, then it's sharing with your children too, and agreeing on how to raise them and where you're going to live. And it is a sharing experience, and you have to get used to that. I guess when you're young, like with me, I lived with my parents. Then I turned 17. I went in the military. While I was in the military, I married my wife, and I've always had somebody there. And the only time I've been by myself is in this last 10 months. I haven't had anybody in the house, living here. I've had my daughter visits and my son-in-law visit and have spent nights. But other than that, being by myself is a new experience, and not one that I like very well. And I've read a lot about where people look forward to being by themselves because they don't have to commit to another person or clear it with somebody. But, with my wife, it wasn't so much clearing if I wanted to go somewhere. It wasn't anything like that. We talked everything over, and we shared not so much earlier in our marriage, but as time went on, we shared equally in all aspects of the marriage, which means finances and plans and things like that. But we never thought about it as giving somebody permission, me give her permission for something that wasn't part of our marriage. It was just sharing what we wanted and where we were headed. So. Yeah. I'll see if I can. Ed Prince says, a diamond is a transparent, highly refractive mineral made entirely of crystallized carbon. It forms under extreme heat and pressure deep within the earth as the hardest natural occurring. And there's no more on it, but that's true. He keeps on going here. Substance on the planet is universally treasured for its unmatched brilliance, fire, and durability. Yep. Yeah, and it comes in a few different colors. pure carbon. Yeah, Lucius, when I agree with you. It's mutual love and respect, I think, is what keeps two people together. You know, recognizing each other for who they are. And, you know, diamonds are created from pressure. I wonder if that works with people. What's the matter, Sparky? Where you at? Yeah, but Lucius, when we on our 50th, we went out and we bought new rings, and they weren't, fantastic or anything like that. Just, I guess we did it more for symbolism than anything at the time. But the first set of rings didn't cost a whole lot, but for the time, it seemed like a lot. Uh, and they weren't fancy at all. Bearded says he's been single over 30 years. You're probably pretty used to it by now, Bearded. My problem right now being single is I had never been without, whether it was a parent, sibling, or being in the military or something like that, or having my wife with me, of not having somebody right there. I mean, I've traveled, had to travel different times and been gone several weeks at a time where my wife couldn't be with me because part of my jobs were, I was having to travel to job sites. And now, obviously, I don't have somebody living here with me. And at this point, I have no intention of sharing my house. It's just, if I did anything, one of these days I might downsize. But right now, it's a bachelor pad as far as the way it looks inside. When my wife was here, she kept it much neater. My wife liked everything in its place, and sometimes I don't do it right away. And I can hear her talking in my head up here when I leave something out too long. What's the matter, Sparky? But come here. What do you want? What you want? We gotta wait. It's not time for anything. It's not time for anything. You gotta wait a little bit. Yeah, cousin Crafter. Yeah, I feel sorry for your sister having lost her husband recently. Yeah, that being alone is a hard pill to swallow, and it seems like the longer two people are together, the harder it is. Helen says it's hard. She has her daughter there, but the thought of being all alone is not a good thought. Yeah, I understand that completely. With me, when I finally, get up from whatever I'm doing in the evening and shut all the lights off, and I walk back to the bedroom. The pup, he's got his bed back there in the bedroom as well, but I hear him snort once in a while at night. For a long time, uh, when I woke up, I'd wake up every morning about 2 or 2:30, and I'd see my wife the last moments that she was alive. I had held her, and it was like being haunted sometimes. It's almost like you're afraid to go to sleep because when you wake up, that picture is there. And the problem is it's in my mind all the time. It's there. I remember the good times, and obviously it's hard not to remember the last moments. There are times when it's hard is if I'm watching something, whether it's on TV or on here, and I go decide to say something to my wife about whatever it was, and she's not there because we sat, she was to my right for a lot of years since we've been retired. We both have easy chairs out in the living room. Hers is a glider rocker, and mine is a recliner. And we've always looked towards each other when we're going to say something. Yep. And of course, my cat coming in here now. She must have heard the puppy barking. They're both in here. If it wasn't for my pets, it'd be a lot harder. You want up here? Well, come on. It's okay. I don't know if she's going to jump up here or not. She might. You want to come up here with me? Well, come on. See, she's up here in my lap. I'll show you. Yeah, there you go. There she is. She's nosy. She wants to know what's going on. She hears me talking, and her thing is she wants to see what I'm talking to. They're both nosy. Ellen says it's been 15 months and her doctor is yelling at her to gain some weight. Something, it's been a lot of years since I could touch the floor flat with my hand because my stomach always got in the way. And when I went for my physical last year, they took me from being obese just to more in the normal range. I'm still heavy, but normal range. Yeah, it's just Helen, her relationship said when we lose someone, our emotions come in waves, and I believe it's because souls recognize souls, and when you become overwhelmed out of the blue, it's because they're with you in that moment. It happens a lot, I know, with me. All of a sudden, something will come up. I think of my wife, and it's just everything. You can feel it in your entirety. Ever since it happened, I don't know what the word is. I can't tell you what the feeling is because I've never come up against it, never heard a good description. So it's just there. Yeah, well, Marla, uh, I used to weigh. I quit weighing myself one time when I was a little over 270, and I'm back then I was about 6'1" or just a little over 6'1". Now I'm closer to 6 foot. I've got compressed discs, and my neck pushes forward from back here a little bit. That takes me down, and my knees are wore out, so I've lost some height, but I still come out, I guess, around 6 foot. And right now I'm down to right around 210. And it's been a long time since I was down there to that weight. Back it would have to be back when in my very early 40s or late 30s, maybe. Once I started putting weight on, I couldn't stop. When I quit gaining weight, well, I don't even know when that happened. I mean, I just quit weighing myself when I got somewhere around 270, I guess. And then finally, my physicals weren't coming out too good. So I was able to get down to about 260 and 255. And my sugar count, came down into the normal range at that point. And, I was borderline diabetic, when I was real heavy. But I felt better and I could move around a little better at that weight. But when I got down to where I'm now, it's better yet, and I can walk better than I could. And my knees are pretty bad. One knee is bone against bone on my right knee. My left one isn't too bad, at least at this point. Yeah, what was I thinking? Since I have conversations with my loved ones who have passed and it won't never stop. I wonder a lot of times, what heaven will be like, here on earth. And we're kind of in a perfect sphere here. It replenishes and purifies itself on a regular basis, this planet we're on. But there's a lot of different things out there to keep us occupied. And I don't know what's going to happen in our life when everything is perfection. That's eternal. We go through life working for things. We have goals and things. And in eternal life, what we're going to be doing, we enjoy the multifaceted things that we have here on earth. Even though we think we can control things, in reality, we realize we can't control everything, not at least better than what it's already being controlled by our Lord. I guess we were made to wonder. Beverly said, "Hi, Bone Crusher. Thank you for your services. We love you. I love all of you back too. You guys really helped me out during a rough time. This last year has been quite an upheaval, and then coming back to earth. But you guys have all been there the whole time." Yeah. I would love to be able to have some insight to more in preparation of, the eternal life. From this aspect, sometimes I wonder if everything was wonderful all the time, what your goals would be, what incentives because eternally is forever. It's not that I won't enjoy being around relatives. I'm certainly going to be, because I have that much love for all these people that, whether it be relatives, cousins, and uncles, and parents, and siblings, and children, and my wife, and her relatives and stuff, and what our goals will be. It's really fun here on Earth. We're all of us are looking for utopia, but what will utopia give us? Adam and Eve, it wasn't enough to have the perfect world. They still bit into the apple. And actually, whether it was an apple or a peach or a prune or whatever, not prune, but whatever it was, it was the fruit of the tree. They didn't follow God's commandment. And I would hope that we don't get into some kind of a trap like that. The beginning of Earth didn't work out very well for Adam and Eve. They had it all, and then it was all destroyed for them because of what they did. We might carry those habits into heaven. I hope not. And I'm just rambling, obviously. Listen, this says best luck to you and all the rest. It's nap 30. Okay. Well, I probably should get off here because I know I'm getting pretty boring to everybody out there. I really just threw it out mainly today just so you guys could get on there and ask questions. And you can see, obviously, I'm doing okay. And yeah, I worry about, like today, we haven't really, trounced in anybody and called people names or anything like that. So I know people out there will still try to use this. Hi, Timothy. Just see you there. I'm just getting ready to shut the things down. But when I get on here next time, save up some more questions, and I'll try to do the same thing. I mean, if there's a dozen or 24 people that just want to kind of talk and BS and then relax a little bit, that'll be fine. It doesn't take a whole lot of people to keep things going. Let's see. Alicia says, Ray, your wife hasn't left your side. It's patiently waiting when you come. I am confident she wants you to enjoy life with your children and loved ones there. I just know you will be together again. Yeah. Yeah. If I could just have her here for a while too. Yeah. G Sky, I see you there. Thanks for being here today. Thank you, Miss Laurie. There's a time as we age where we have lots of stories, and then pretty soon we don't have as many as the memory starts fading. But the ones we have, even if we repeat them over and over, they're still dear to us because those good times mean a lot. When my kids were born, it was really, I can't tell you how happy my wife and I were as each one was born. And the girls were twins. And I remember every second when they came out of that room, where they were where they were born, and one of them was in. My wife was laying on a gurney, and a twin was in each arm. She was laying, and each side had a twin. And when they brought them out, they hadn't said too much till I got out there, and I seen one of my daughters, and they all came out. There was nurses and a doctor came out, and I'm looking down, and I only seen the one. And they said, "Well, you have another one there." What? It seemed two then, but and they were very small. They were a little early, and they had to go in the incubator for a little while. They were in there a few days, mainly to warm them up. I mean, they were 4 pounds, like 11 ounces, and the other one was like 3 pounds, 13 ounces or something like that. It was a lot for my wife to carry. My wife, she's pretty short. She's like 5'2" back then, I think. And by the time she had the children, she was a pretty good size, but she was normally, around 105 pounds, so 110 maybe at the most. And so that was a lot for her to carry, the twins. A joyous time, though. And then when things would get easy, more money coming in or something like that, then, those were happy times. And then sometimes you'd, go almost bankrupt, and you're back out there hunting and scrounging to get things together. They make you strong as you go along. And then as each one was out on their own, you have that empty spot. And sometimes you wonder, oh, geez, how come they're not calling me? Maybe they didn't call you in a week or a month or something. And, something wrong, or they forget you, or holidays. You get together near holidays and you get happy. And all those memories, they're all there. And as you get older, you bring the memories back to give you some good times. For myself, a lot of the memories that weren't so good, and not necessarily with my wife and stuff, but you tend to push those aside. Things that don't make you happy, you do push them aside. Even if it was a week ago, you had this blow up with somebody, you tend to just push it away if you can, because you're looking for a good part of your life, the good times. Thank goodness, most of my life has been pretty good. They were with my wife. The worst times, I have to say, happened, within this last year, and that was losing my wife. Obviously, I'll never get over it till I meet her again. Anyway, for everybody out there, I don't want to get too melancholy. Thank you for coming by my channel, and thank you for being a part of it. If I'm on here more often, it'll be for a purpose of just BSing back and forth, kind of like we did today. Bring the good times. If you have questions, we can go over whatever you have and put it out for everybody to answer. It doesn't have to just be a question up to me or anybody else. I'm glad the good times stack up more than what the bad times do over the years. That's one thing. And a lot of times I just give it to the Lord if it's something overwhelming where I don't wish to deal with it at the time. And I guess that's the best way. That's the way I was taught when I grew up. Seems to work. Oh, so everybody out there, I want you to have a good day. Maybe we'll bring something back. Today's Tuesday. I think Lisa will be on there live tonight. Please go to her channel when it comes up. I don't know if Tori's going to be on there. Tori might even be on there now. She comes on fairly early and stays on there for a few hours. So I'm thinking that I don't know if it's Tuesdays. Whenever I see her on there, I go by and hit the like on there to make sure that she's getting people coming in there. Stevie says, I enjoy the ones we just chat and ask things or share with each other. I love to do that. Gracious one says she loves to come in here and enjoy our company. Debbie says, sorry I'm late and you're never boring. Thank you, Debbie. Yolanda, I see you're on here. Good to see you. Good to see you too. All right. Well, let's call it a day and we'll get back on here. It's hard for me to schedule something like on a regular basis. When I come on here, it's spontaneous. I'm just sitting there feeling like I want to get on there or feel better one day or the other. Health-wise, I seem to be in pretty fair shape. And I guess if I do what the doctors say, maybe I'll be around for a while. Be here to bore you. How's that? Keep you guys going. What else we got? Yeah, I heard about Tori having a toothache. That can be devastating. It goes right up through like migraines when that happens. Timothy says, do you think Jim will ever be held accountable? I have to think that he is going to be held accountable. I think right now he may be getting a little worried. It seems like whether I mention him or not, he likes to mention me. Not very long, but just enough to let everybody know they still thinking in negative terms in my direction. I don't know. I've been in his head a long time. Karma catches up. What goes around comes around, and I really believe that this stuff will come back on him, and it has. I mean, look at it this way. George has been gone a while, right? I think this is probably the longest that she's been gone. And hopefully she's getting a little bit of time away enough that maybe she'll stay away. I don't know. It's hard to talk about something when I have little to no information about it. I know those other people love to get on stuff that they know nothing about. It's kind of like the guy that got up there in front of everybody and says, I'm up here to stand before you, to stand behind you and talk about something I know nothing about. But it seems like people are coming and going out of his camp pretty quick. So, and they worried about the fighting that went on with some of us, different things. And people did come and go in our channels. It's their prerogative. They all have their different reasons for doing it, and more power to them. If they find things more interesting, that's their rights. We live in a free country. But I notice it's going on in his camp too, and some of it's pretty vicious over there. Some of the ones that were the biggest talkers now are the biggest haters among each other. Like I say, karma has a way of catching up with you eventually. And if we wait long enough, we see everybody gets to pay the price of it. With that, I'm going to let you go. And I don't know if John's in here or not, but I still use ta-ta. So let's see, where's my thing to go to call it quits on here? I couldn't find it last time either. It must mean you're not supposed to quit yet, Ray. Where does it go? I know it's on here. I haven't used it, lately, so me see. Maybe I've got expanded too much. No. Oh, there it is. It says end stream. It used to be down here at the bottom somewhere. Now it's all the way up here at the top. Anyway, I got a good laugh out of it. That's twice now that that's happened to me. Debbie says he got goats with. Oh yeah, she's gone. That's right. She don't like goats. uh, yeah, her entire family distanced themselves from JH. They distanced themselves for quite a while. George, it's been a couple of years. I think I felt bad for his son the last time he was down there. He was kind of getting fun made of him. And it showed on his face. He had that funny look on his face. You could tell there's no love lost between them for sure. And her family has always been way down the list as far as he's concerned. Certain people out there will distance you from all your friends and relatives. That way they got control on you. Because they want it so that they're the only ones that matter to you. And you need friends, no matter who you're married to or just associate with. You need a variety out there to keep you going. And you should never be distanced from your family in any way, shape, or form. Because if somebody loves you, they want you to be friends with your family. They want you close so that you can enjoy life much more. It's a big thing if they start distancing you from brothers and sisters and parents and cousins and uncles. What they're doing is trying to control you. And it's a good time to walk away. That's a good sign to say goodbye, see you later, sayonara. With that, like I said, it took me a while to find the industry. So now I've got it. I'm going to let you all go. And we'll get together again and have a good time. At least we got to laugh a little bit. And obviously, you see I'm still alive. And I'm not, if you look at my hands, you can see they're not drawing up too bad. I'm hydrating back pretty decent. Even my face is getting a little fat. So see you later. You have a good day.